sometimes when you're looking for lenders, you gotta really ask yourself if SoFi is better than Avant or even say Oportun. Okay. So in today's conversation, I want to talk to you about real quick about those three players and which one you should go for this year. I want to start with the lenders here. So you have SoFi first. When you think about SoFi, short for social finance, is actually an online lending platform that really gives you a lot of cash. And can you imagine $100,000? That's the maximum that you have through SoFi. And so SoFi is more like a fintech as opposed to a regular bank. Okay, but the loan amounts here range from $5,000 to $100,000, and those actually are available in terms of a repayment window. You're looking at 2 to 7 years, so that's really good. And you have a FICO score minimum that SoFi asks you from 600 all the way to 625. There are cases where SoFi will work with you if you have an even lower FICO. Okay, and when you think about SoFi, I want you to think about funding in as little as 24 to 48 hours. So that's really good. And you have lengthy terms in terms of repayment. So you're looking at 2 to 7 years. I want to insist on that because usually you have a 2 to 5 years, but SoFi is extending actually the repayment window to 7 years. That's kind of that's understandable because they are actually giving you a maximum loan amount of $100,000. Okay, and you can use a SoFi loan for all kinds of purposes, like credit card consolidation, home improvements, relocation assistance, medical procedures. So that's really good because again, the flexibility that you want, SoFi is having that, and SoFi doesn't charge you an origination like a set of origination fees, unlike Prosper, for instance, unlike Best Egg, unlike all the other players. SoFi ain't doing that, so that's really good. And if you want to really increase your chances of being approved for a SoFi personal loan, you want to start by seeing if you can pre-qualify, and if yes, how much you can actually pre-qualify for. And the income requirements that SoFi wants you to have, they want you to really fulfill. You're looking at $1,500 gross income to actually qualify. Okay, $1,500 per month. That's gross income before you can apply. And so basically, SoFi allows you also to have co-signers and co-applicants. So that's really great. So to really increase your chances of applying for a SoFi personal loan, I think I've said this before, but I want to insist on that because there is a whole lot of preparation that goes into qualifying for a SoFi personal loan. Remember, the loan amounts are already gigantic already, $100,000. You don't have a lot of lenders in this space, in the personal space, that allow you to go all the way to $100,000. You have like very few of them. And so besides the SoFi, you have another lender that I can think of right now. It'll come back to me later on. But yeah, so you have Lightstream. Lightstream also goes all the way to $100,000. Lightstream, a unit of Truist Bank. Okay, and besides those two, you also have Wells Fargo. If memory serves me correctly, Wells Fargo that actually gives you up to $100,000. So the goal, I mean, the need for some preparation is really high because you want to make sure that you get approved right off the bat. So the way you do this, you want to pre-qualify first to see how much you could actually qualify for, were you to go through the process. Then you complete the online application. You await approval. Approval will come within 1 week to 2 weeks, so it's not that instantaneous. Okay. And you just sign the loan agreement and receive the funds. So pretty straightforward. Okay, so the time to receive funds from SoFi goes from 2 to 4 days, in some cases 1 week. Okay, now the larger the loan amount that you're asking for, or you got approved for that matter, the longer you have to wait. Like if you were approved for, let's say, $75,000, you're not going to get the cash real fast as if you were approved for, let's say, $5,000. It's normal. The risk is higher, so this is kind of important. And so if you were to compare SoFi and other players, you will see that other players such as Upgrade or Upstart, they will limit you at $50,000, whereas SoFi is doubling. SoFi doubles the loan amount to $100,000. But of course, if you wanted to have just a smaller loan amount, then it's just better to go with Upgrade or even Upstart, because they start you at $1,000 and $2,000 respectively, as opposed to SoFi that starts you at $5,000. Let me talk to you now about Avant. So Avant Personal Loans. So when you think about Avant, I want you to think about let's say a less generous lender compared to SoFi, for instance, because Avant is actually starting you at $2,000 and limiting you at $35,000. So the loan range here $2,000 to $35,000. Okay, and APR goes from 10% to 36%. So that's kind of cool. And the minimum credit score that Avant wants you to have is 550. So that's kind of cool because again, here you have a flexibility. If you have a low FICO score, let's say you have a FICO score around 560, or you're having some little problems in your some derogatory items on your FICO score, being able to have such a low threshold, 550, is really good because it opens up the arena to a lot of borrowers. So if you are in that category, you might want to think about Avant. Okay. So when you think about Avant, you have fast funding. So Avant is way faster than SoFi. SoFi will take days. Avant will take maximum 48 hours to actually qualify, to actually approve you and actually fund the loan. You have the option, kind of similar to SoFi. You have the option to pre-qualify with a soft credit check. You have a mobile app to manage the loans. You have a wide range of repayment term options, and you have a 7-day customer service availability. So this is kind of cool because you can call Avant anytime, and you will have somebody actually pick up the phone, and so you can have a conversation with someone. So this is really good. Now Avant, unlike SoFi, charges an origination fee. That's a bummer, but hey, listen, it is what it is. They must make money off of you, I guess. So you have an origination fee that goes from 0% to 9.9%, so 10% that is. And Avant doesn't really approve co-sign, joint, or secured loans, and there is no direct payment to creditors on debt consolidation loans. So this is from a flexibility point of view, this could be a little problematic. But hey, listen, it is not really that bad, okay? And SoFi is available in all 50 states. Avant is not. Avant is not available in Hawaii, Iowa, Maine, New York, Vermont, or West Virginia. So you have some states that do not actually qualify you. So if you happen to live in those states, unfortunately, you're not going to find Avant pretty interesting because you can't qualify. The lender doesn't have a lending license, a banking license in those states. But overall, Avant personal loans are great because of fast funding, soft credit check to pre-qualify, the option to change your payment date, mobile app. So that's really cool. So when you think about Avant, I want you to think about flexibility from multiple points of views. Okay, the minimum monthly net income to start the flexibility journey is $1,200. So Avant will qualify you if you are making $1,200 minimum gross income every single month. So that's really good. You want to make sure that you have a bank account in your name and in good standing. So if you have a check system entry and hence you cannot have a bank account, you will not be able to qualify through Avant. Avant wants you to make sure that you are banked. You're not unbanked clients. Okay. Minimum credit score. I said this before. I want to say this again. 550. 550. They'll get you in. Not a problem. Okay. But you should not have an active bankruptcy. So if you are in a bankruptcy proceeding, you want to wait for the whole thing to go through. You want to wait for you to sort of reorganize, to resort your financial affairs before you can actually apply for an Avant loan. Okay. And one thing you want to do is you want to always kind of similar to SoFi, you want to always pre-qualify on Avant's website, so that you know what's really available, what's in store for you, literally. Okay, you can preview loan offers and accept, let's say, the one that fits your budget, but also your conditions, because you gotta have a set of conditions, all right? Simply because you're looking for a loan doesn't mean you are willing to accept anything and everything. No, you want to be a little bit, let's say, filtering stuff that's coming your way. Okay. And if for any reason you don't see Avant making the right move, go to another. I mean, you have Upgrade, you have Upstart, you have Achieve, you have a lot of players in a very crowded personal loan provider field. And the whole thing is You want to make sure that you are getting a loan that fits your budget, because the thing is that the loan might not really change, but what will change is that the APR that you are getting from the lender, also the repayment window. Because if the APR, like the repayment, the loan repayment amount is a direct correlation with the repayment window, but also the APR that the lender is charging you in the first place. So now I want to talk to you about the third lender, and this is Oportun. So when you think about Oportun, I want you to think about a less generous lender, because Oportun is actually giving you loans from $300 all the way to $10,000. Not the $50,000 that SoFi is giving, and not the $50,000 that Avant is giving you. I mean, by the way, Avant is giving you a 40 grand, but SoFi is giving you $100,000, whereas Oportun is giving you a $10,000 maximum. Okay, so once again, the loan amount range here is a 300 all the way to $10,000, and minimum credit score 300. So Oportun will work with you even if you have the lowest of the lowest in terms of credit score. So that's good to know, because it really opens up a lot of possibilities for all kinds of customers. If you have a bad credit score right now and you're just struggling to make ends meet, and you're looking for a quick source of cash, you will love Oportun. Okay, and Oportun actually will accept applicants with no credit history. You have terms as short as 65 days are available, so this is really good. Minimum loan amounts as low as 300, and there are secured and unsecured loan options. That's really good. Also, you have a lot of possibilities there. Okay, now loans from Oportun or Pathward are not available in all states, so that's really the flip side of this equation. Oportun may charge an administrative fee for, or even a tax stamp depending on your state, as well as late fees, and loans may require bi-weekly payments. So something to really be aware of, especially if you are looking for flexibility. But overall, Oportun was founded 20 years ago. They are based in San Carlos, California, and they actually will they are getting they are giving you loans through Oportun's partnership with Pathward, formerly known as MetaBank. So MetaBank is one of those banks that really can help you out, but not for large amounts though. Okay, so Oportun is best for you if you have no credit history, if you live in a state where this lender operates, and if you want to apply or pre-qualify for a loan online, then Oportun will work with you, not a problem. So if you want to apply for an Oportun sort of loan, you have to be aware of the fact that Oportun is has a lengthier loan application process than let's say SoFi or Avant. Okay, so the process is kind of similar in terms of the beginning. So you want to get pre-qualified with no credit score impact to see if you are a good candidate for the loan. So that's kind of cool. So once you are pre-qualified, you want to gather your documents, including a government-issued ID, proof of address such as gas and electric bills, proof of income such as pay stubs, and a list of your recurring monthly debt payments. So that's really good in terms of flexibility. So you know exactly how much you can qualify for in the first place. So that's really good. And after that, you want to begin the online application, following the prompts for your contact information and also documentation. One thing you have to do is that you have to actually provide any additional documents that they actually are required. And Oportun is very thorough during the application process. Sometimes they might ask you some additional documentation, so just make sure that you respond within a timely manner. Okay, and once you receive a response, usually within minutes, you actually select your loan terms and sign the loan documents. So that's kind of cool. And the cool thing about the Oportun that I really need to say is that you get your cash a lot faster. Now, the amounts are not really gigantic. You're looking at maximum $10,000. But hey, listen, it is still something. You can receive actually a funding within 1 day, which is really a good, especially if you were to compare and contrast this with SoFi that really requires sometimes a couple of days. So that's kind of cool in terms of speed. Okay, speed of funding. So that's really good. And one thing I want to say here is that when you think about Oportun, I want you to think about a lender that's very flexible in terms of the FICO score required. Remember, if you remember, I was telling you that if you have a FICO score of 300, Oportun will work with you. This is a pretty opportune lender, so to speak. Okay, and one thing you want to really understand also is that you have a minimum loan amount of $300. So that's really good. $300. So if you want to borrow $300, you can go through Oportun. And Oportun is the only one that allows you to have that, because SoFi will start you at $5,000 and Avant will start you at $2,000 or $3,000. Okay, so from a flexibility point of view, you can have Oportun really help you actually get a lower loan amount. So that's really good from a flexibility point of view. So what's the choice here? SoFi versus Avant versus Oportun. Which one should you go for? Well, the thing is that when you actually are sitting and thinking about the personal loan provider for you, you got to really ask yourself what your needs are, right? It's not just about choosing a SoFi versus Avant or versus Oportun. It's first, you want to check your credit score. Obviously, if you have a FICO score of 300, you're not going to qualify for a SoFi or Avant personal loan that easily. You have better chances of going through Oportun if you have 300. But if you start having, like, let's say 550, 600, then SoFi and Avant become very important. Of course, Oportun is still there, can really help you out. But if you have a 600 a FICO score, you have more lenders on the market that can really help you out. And because Oportun is pretty flexible, but their APR is high like crazy. Okay. So this is important. So when you check your credit score, you can see whether or not you can actually qualify for a loan at Oportun, SoFi, or Avant. And you need to also calculate how much you need to borrow, because simply because you want to borrow, let's say $45,000 or $75,000 for that matter, doesn't mean you're going to get it, because the lender is going to be to pay attention to your repayment capability. How are you able to repay the loan? So you want to be very clear as to how much you need to borrow, but also how much you are going to be able to shell out every single month for the loan repayment. Okay, and that's important. You want to also calculate your estimated monthly payment. You want to get pre-qualified with multiple lenders. So if you're going to apply for a SoFi, Avant, or Oportun, you do not actually limit yourself to those three players only. You want to go with multiple lenders like Upstart, Upgrade. You want to go with Lightstream. The more, the better. You want to go with Prosper. You want to go with Happy Money. That way you can see how much you can qualify for out there. Okay, and so basically you want to compare all loan terms in terms of repayment terms, fees, loan restrictions, funding time, discounts, and you also want to choose the right lender for you, especially depending on your geography. Some lenders are not available in all 50 states, so maybe you might like a lender, but you will realize that lender particularly is not giving out loans in your state. Okay, so do a little bit of due diligence there. So what's the selection here? SoFi versus Avant versus Oportun. Which one should you go for? Our choice is pretty simple. SoFi. SoFi is a highly reputable lender, because SoFi gives you a maximum of $100,000, so a large loan amount. SoFi actually gives you a repayment window that goes from 2 years to 7 years. Avant is somewhere in between, but Oportun is more for you if you have a lower FICO score. So here's a recap here. In today's conversation, I just spoke to you about SoFi versus Avant versus Oportun. I gave you the lenders. I spoke about SoFi, Avant, and Oportun. I gave you the choice, the selection, and now the recap. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.